Hello, dear students. In this module, we'll be doing the regulatory aspects or the regulatory framework of e-commerce. So, as we all are familiar with the fact that traditional buying and selling of goods and services in the physical marketplace has become obsolete. सो इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे हमारे लिए ये बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है जहाँ पे बायर और सेलर के बीच में कोई भी पर्सनल कांटेक्ट नहीं है, फ़ेस टू फेस इंटरेक्शन नहीं है। उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे उनके लिए उनकी ट्रांजैक्शंस को बाइंड करने के लिए कोई ऐसे रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हों जो उनकी ट्रांजैक्शंस को और ऑथेंटिकेट कर दे, वैलिड बना दे। तो इस पूरे मॉड्यूल में हम यही डिस्कस करेंगे कि किसी भी ट्रांजैक्शन के ऐसे कौन कौन से एरियाज़ होंगे जहाँ पे हमें डिफरेंट रूल्स, रेगुलेशंस और लॉज की ज़रूरत पड़ती रहेगी। So these are the 8 areas where we need lawful regulations to make the transactions valid and authenticate. First one is legal issues. Business transactions are generally a kind of contract between both the parties, that is, the buyer and the seller, and they decide the terms and conditions mutually. But what if these transactions take place in a virtual market? So यहाँ पे हमारा legal issue create होता है, which is formation of e-contract. E-contracts are quite different from the usual paper contracts, and some of the most common forms of e-contract are click wrap contract, browse wrap contract, and shrink wrap contracts. अब जब हमारे ई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स फॉर्म हो चुके हैं तो यहाँ पे इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट 1872 के सारे प्रोविजंस भी एप्लीकेबल होंगे और इसके साथ ही जितने भी और इंडियन लॉज हैं रिलेटेड टू इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी और इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, उन सब के प्रोविजंस भी यहाँ पे फॉलो किए जाएंगे। सो द नेक्स्ट एस्पेक्ट इज़ लाइबिलिटी इश्यूज़। ये एस्पेक्ट हमें ये बताता है कि जब कस्टमर ऑनलाइन प्रोडक्ट परचेज़ करेगा और उसमें अगर कोई डिफेक्ट निकला तो इंटरमीडियरी की क्या लाइबिलिटी होगी। So first of all, let us be more clear about who the intermediary is. As the name suggests, intermediary is any person who, on the behalf of another person, receives, stores, or transmits that record or provides any service with respect to that record and includes telecom service providers, network service providers, internet service providers, web hosting service providers, and search engines. आईटी एक्ट प्रोवाइड करता है एग्जेम्पशन टू द लाइबिलिटी ऑफ इंटरमीडियरीज अगर वो सिर्फ ट्रांजैक्शंस की स्मूथ फंक्शनिंग के लिए कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम प्रोवाइड करते हैं, ट्रांसमिशन को इनिशिएट नहीं करते हैं और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की सारी गाइडलाइंस को प्रॉपर्ली फॉलो करते हैं। इसके साथ ही इंटरमीडियरीज को जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है रिगार्डिंग रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, प्रिवेसी पॉलिसी और एनी काइंड ऑफ टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस, उन सब को अपनी वेब पेज पे पब्लिश करवाना होता है, अपलोड करवाना होता है और टाइम टू टाइम उनमें कोई भी अपडेशन हो वो करनी होती है। और अगर कोई भी गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन अपलोड हो जाए तो सेम शुड बी डिसेबल्ड विद इन 36 hours of the knowledge about the same. Next we are going to do is security issues. As we all know that while doing transactions over the internet, issues related to the security of sensitive information are very critical. A secure platform for carrying the transactions is an important factor in deciding success or failure of an e-commerce business. Next, we'll discuss about these issues briefly. First point is authentication and identification. as there is no personal contact between the buyer and seller. सो ऐसे सिनेरियो में डिजिटल सिग्नेचर्स ही ऑथेंटिकेशन पर्पस के लिए यूज़ होते हैं। एंड अगर कोई इस इंफॉर्मेशन को मिसयूज़ करता है तो आईटी एक्ट के अंडर ही मे गेट इम्प्रिजनमेंट अप टू 3 years एंड फाइन अप टू ₹1 lakh। Point number 2, privacy. This focuses on two major points, that is, unauthorized access to personal information and misuse of this personal information by these e-commerce applications. Point number 3, data protection. It means safeguarding the user's data against all kinds of thefts and misuse. India has notified rules under Section 43A of the IT Act to provide a framework for the protection of data, and these are known as data protection rules. Point number 4, security of system. This point says that along with taking care of users' privacy, organizations have to adopt a strong internal security system to avoid the external threats to their own data. Point number 5, security issues in payment mechanisms. This point is quite self explanatory that all the payments over the internet should be safe, secure, and as per the guidelines of RBI. So, we have consumer protection issues as the next regulatory aspect of e commerce. Here, all the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 1986 will be followed and the rights of consumers will be given the due consideration, and in case of any discrepancy, penalties will be imposed under this act, which can be removal of defects, replacement of goods, return of price paid, etc. Next regulatory aspect is intellectual property issues, where all the provisions of intellectual property laws related to copyrights, patents, and trademarks will be applicable. Now we will discuss various intellectual property issues. First one, designing an application. Most commonly, issues related to ownership of intellectual property arise when an organization gets its application or content designed from some third party. The most important thing which should be given due consideration is a written agreement which clearly addresses the ownership of intellectual property, including clauses on terms and the nature of rights. Number 2, use of third party content on website. All the content available on public domains cannot be used freely or without obtaining the necessary permissions or rights from the owners of the content. This content may be in the form of information or logos of the third parties. So, e-commerce business has to obtain the required permissions in order to use this content. Similarly, issues related to providing links to other websites should be addressed in advance. Number 3, hyperlinking, framing, and meta tagging. In order to achieve their marketing goals, e-commerce organizations sometimes use hyperlinking, deep linking, framing, or meta tagging. It is important to understand the legal implications of the same. Number 4, domain names. A company willing to start e-commerce activities should first get its domain name registered, which is an address of the website of that organization on the internet and is unique for every website. While registering domain names, if the company chooses a domain name that is similar to some domain name or some existing trademark of a third party, the company could be held liable for cyber squatting. Now we will discuss the liabilities for infringement of intellectual properties. Some of the most common forms of liability for infringement in India would be injunction, which can be temporary or permanent, against the infringer, stipulating that the infringing activity shall not be continued. It can be in the form of damages to the extent of lost profit, or it can take the form of order for accounts of profits or order for seizure and destruction of infringing articles. In addition to these, some of the intellectual property laws contain stringent criminal provisions relating to the offences and penalties, such as imprisonment up to 3 years for applying for a false trademark, knowingly infringing a copyright, and for applying for a false geographical indication. On number 6, we'll do the issues related to content regulation. इसके अकॉर्डिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कोई भी ऑब्जेक्शनेबल कंटेंट अपनी वेबसाइट पे पब्लिश नहीं कर सकते. दैट मीन्स वो कंटेंट जिससे किसी पर्सन या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की इमेज डैमेज हो या ऐसी लैंग्वेज यूज़ करना जिसकी टोन ऑफेंसिव हो. नेक्स्ट वी हैव ज्यूरिसडिक्शन इश्यूज, जिसमें ये बताया गया है कि अगर कोई भी डिस्प्यूट अराइज हो अमंग द कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग पार्टीज तो इसका डिसीजन कैसे किया जाएगा. सो एट प्रेजेंट इन इंडिया, rules of Indian Penal Code and IT Act are applicable in this emerging issue. The last regulatory aspect is taxation issues. So, for e-commerce transactions, all the provisions of Income Tax Act, GST and sales tax will be applicable for direct and indirect taxes respectively. My dear students, this was all about the regulatory framework or regulatory aspects of e-commerce. I hope this would help you. Thank you so much.